Bravi, my friends, you made it to the end. It's day 30 of your 30-day English vocabulary challenge. However, we still have 3 words to master today, so let's do this. Let's finish out the 105 words we've learned all month from the academic word list. Words that will help you have sophisticated English conversations. Words you need to know if you're preparing for the IELTS or TOEFL exam. I've been watching the posts you've been making about this challenge. It's incredible, inspiring. Make up a sentence to a word you learn and post it on social. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to download the study guide that goes with this 30-day challenge. You can do that by clicking here or the link in the video description. Learn the words, ace the quizzes. You've got this. Today we begin with institute. Institute. It's a noun, an organization created for a particular purpose, such as research or education. I visit the Art Institute's gallery once a month. As a verb, it means to begin or create something, such as a new law, rule, or system. By instituting these programs, we hope to improve our children's education. Let's look again up close and in slow motion. Institute. 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 And now we'll go to Youglish for 5 examples.
The Wisconsin Institute for Research on Poverty recently did a symposium on this.
This is an organization created for a particular purpose. In this case, to conduct research. Oh, conduct. That's another word we learned in this challenge. To conduct research on poverty. You know what? We learned research too on day 4.
The Wisconsin Institute for Research on Poverty recently did a symposium on this.
Here's another example.
I did that by setting up this institute in which I could foster these young scientists.
Okay, so again, this is an organization. It was set up, that means started, by this woman to foster young scientists. Foster means to encourage or promote the development of. She set up an organization to develop young scientists.
I did that by setting up this institute in which I could foster these young scientists.
Here's another example.
And the Research Institute has 25 major research teams with grants totaling more than $12 million per year.
The Research Institute. Again, this is the noun form of the word, an organization created for a particular purpose. In this case, research on a particular topic or variety of topics.
And the Research Institute has 25 major research teams with grants totaling more than $12 million per year.
Another example.
I think we need to institute a variety of reforms to make it possible.
Here we have the verb form, to institute, to begin to create a new rule, law, or system. In this case, they needed to begin reforms on a system to bring about changes to reach a goal.
I think we need to institute a variety of reforms to make it possible.
Our last example.
Sweden was the first country to institute a carbon tax, and they did so back in 1991.
Again, the verb. The first country to create a new law, a carbon tax, to help curb global warming.
Sweden was the first country to institute a carbon tax, and they did so back in 1991.
Our next word is resident. Notice the letter S here makes a Z sound. Resident. It's a noun, someone who lives in a particular place. I'm a resident of Pennsylvania. It's also an adjective, living or working in a particular place, usually for a long period of time. He's our resident history expert here at the museum. Let's look again up close and in slow motion. Resident. 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 And now we'll go to Youglish for 5 examples.
In undergraduate school, I was a resident assistant, which is known as an RA.
A resident assistant, or RA. This is a position at a college or university in a dorm. The RA is there to be a resource and a help to the students who live in the dorm, that is, the residents who live in that particular place.
In undergraduate school, I was a resident assistant, which is known as an RA.
Here's another example.
When George was chief resident at the hospital, I scheduled all the interns and residents.
Chief resident, living or working in a particular place. In the U.S. health system, a resident refers to a doctor in training. That person has finished the 4 years of medical school, but still needs to complete several years of training to become a particular kind of doctor. They work at one hospital or medical group and can work really long hours.
When George was chief resident at the hospital, I scheduled all the interns and residents.
Here's another example.
This is a benefit to all New Yorkers, to every resident.
All New Yorkers, every resident, everyone who lives in New York.
This is a benefit to all New Yorkers, to every resident.
Another example.
And you have to be a North American resident.
You have to live in a particular place, in this case, North America.
And you have to be a North American resident.
Our last example.
I was a surgical resident at the Johns Hopkins Hospital.
Surgical resident. Completed medical school and now training to be a surgeon.
I was a surgical resident at the Johns Hopkins Hospital.
Our last word today, and of the whole 105-word challenge, is sought. The past tense of seek. Sought. It's a verb, to search or try to find someone or something. Also, to ask for or try to achieve something. He sought to write a movie that audiences would love. Let's look again up close and in slow motion. Sought. 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 And now we'll go to Youglish for 5 examples.
I've called you several times and sought advice from you.
Sought advice from you. Tried to get advice. Asked for advice.
I've called you several times and sought advice from you.
Here's another example.
And I sought out other ideas to see if I could have a greater impact.
Sought out. Notice when this word links into a word that begins with a vowel or diphthong, like in this phrase, sought out, the T in sought becomes a flap T. Sought out. Sought out. This is a common phrasal verb, to search for something. This person searched for ideas.
And I sought out other ideas to see if I could have a greater impact.
Here's another example.
In 1999, Kevin established his own creative consulting firm, where he became a highly sought-after producer.
Highly sought after. This is a way to describe something or someone who's in great demand or an object that's desirable. Many people wanted Kevin as producer on their projects.
In 1999, Kevin established his own creative consulting firm, where he became a highly sought-after producer.
Another example.
Fetterman unsuccessfully sought the Senate nomination in a 3-person competitive race.
Sought the Senate nomination. Now here, the next word begins with a consonant, so it's a stop T in sought. Sought the. Sought the Senate nomination. Tried to achieve something. To get the Senate nomination to win the primary election. Fetterman was unsuccessful, did not win.
Fetterman unsuccessfully sought the Senate nomination in a 3-person competitive race.
Our last example.
Companies early on and the government sought ways to protect our data and our identities.
Searched for a way to protect our data and identities, to protect privacy.
Companies early on and the government sought ways to protect our data and our identities.
Wow, congratulations you, impressive. This is the last video, but if you haven't seen them all or you want to review the rest of the 30-day challenge, be sure to check out the playlist here. And if you haven't already downloaded your study guide, which has quizzes to test your understanding, comprehension, to make sure you really get the words, you can do that here or with the link in the video description. I'm impressed with your dedication to your studies, and I have a challenge for you now. Make up a sentence with one of these words, make a short video of your sentence, and post it to social media. Tag me and use the hashtag Rachel's English 30-Day Challenge. Don't be shy, you can do this. I've loved seeing what you've posted so far. We'll now go back to weekly videos here on the channel. The next video coming up is about Valentine's Day and strategies you can use to train your brain to think in English rather than translating. Very useful. In the meantime, keep up your studies with this video. And check out my online courses at rachelsenglishacademy.com. You'll become a more confident English speaker. And please do remember to subscribe. I love being your English teacher. That's it, and thanks so much for using Rachel's English.